Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you're accustomed to being here, my name is B. Just in case if you don't know who I am, and I would assume by now a good bit of you probably know who I am. Okay, so this is going to be a quick little collective situation, just to kind of tap in to see what it is that we need to know. A couple of announcements. I am still open for readings, so you can definitely check down the description box to book personal readings with me. I have started selling ashtrays. So we do have some Halloween spooky time ashtrays over on the website, which you can also find in the description box. If you want to find me on my other platforms, you can do that, which is also found below in the description box. I've had to take a couple of days to kind of get back to myself. So I'm not necessarily starting uh tarot classes today. I know a couple of weeks ago, last week, I kind of channeled November the 7th. Today is the 7th. But I'm kind of just now getting my strength levels back. I feel like I was kind of reaching a pinnacle of burnout. So I took yesterday and Tuesday afternoon to just kind of do nothing, just exist. And I feel a bit better. I'm still really tired in a lot of manners, like physically, mentally, I feel like mainly. So I'm slowly getting back to that. So I pushed tarot classes back. Um, I'm gonna shoot for the 17th, or I guess I'll start on the 18th because the 17th is a Sunday if I'm looking correctly at my calendar. So I should be starting around the 20th, but I do leave to go out of town on the 25th of November. So I'll keep y'all updated. We are still doing classes. Big Mama just got to make sure she's taking care of herself because, yeah, I fear losing the momentum that I'm having because I've been a year in Atlanta and I'm just now kind of picking up on things and feel like I'm finally stable, finally getting my footing, finally at a place where I can hit the ground running. So I've been doing that, but then it's just about self-preservation. So give me mom some time to kind of recalibrate, rest, get my mind together because my brain has been just going a mile a minute as of the past couple of weeks. And I will have everything organized for y'all. I know for those of y'all who love me though, I know I can intuitively already hear y'all telling me to take my time, and when it's time and when it's ready, y'all will be here. So thank you in advance. This is also a timeless reading. Today is, like I said, November the 7th, 2024. Happy Scorpio season to all the Scorpios. And yeah, if you find this whenever you find it, there still might be some messages in here for you. I'm not really going to try to call signs, but if I do end up calling them, cool. It is a very gloomy day here in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So let's get some things started. So I'm going to start with the Oracle card, as always. And it's really just whatever the collective needs to know. So thank you, God, thank you, El, thank you, Yahweh, for these messages. Allow these messages to be clear for the collective. Allow these messages to find those who need this message, those who resonate with this message, those who resonate with my collective, and allow this reading to give them exactly what it is that they need during this time. All right. This is still a very new deck. A friend of mine gave me this deck about last year, I think around this time, actually. Yeah, I think it was around this time he gave me this deck. So I've had this deck for about a year. I kind of keep it really near and dear to my heart since it was a gift. I don't really try to use it a lot, but let's see, give us an oracle for what we need to know as a collective as far as November the 7th, 2024, 2024. Uh, okay. So we have two cards. Bottom of the deck, we do have the power of purpose. We do have the Merry Motive card, and then the card that came with it is Into Me, I See. So the Merry Motive card is pretty simple. I don't really have to read into the book for that. The Merry Motive card is just a card to ask you to make sure that your motives are clear and genuine and sincere, and making sure that anybody around you also has good motives. Okay. Sometimes we want stuff so bad, but then we don't really understand why we want it until we think about the motive, right? Sometimes we only be wanting shit because you see somebody else have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, imagine, like, I know a good example of this would be like relationships where you see somebody else's relationship, you think it's just so good shit, right? And you like, damn, why I want to, I can't wait to have a relationship like that. But one thing that I've always learned too is that you got to be very careful about what you ask for and be very careful about, again, what the motive is. Do you want this because you genuinely, wholeheartedly want it? Or do you want this because you see somebody else have it? Or because you feel like you deserve it better than somebody else? Because you never really know what they got to deal with on the back end for what it is that they want. Like, yeah, you might feel like, oh, my coworker got the supervisor position and I just deserved it. I'm much more equipped for the job. But the whole time, you don't even know what they got to deal with just as a supervisor. You just feel like, oh, I should have got it for myself because I'm more equipped. I'm better than them, faster than them, whatever, whatever. But do you know what they got to deal with on the back end? I don't think you do. And a lot of the times, if you knew what people had to deal with, you would shift your motive. You wouldn't even want this shit no more. You wouldn't even be motivated to try to go so hard or to one up whoever or whatever that looked like, right? And vice versa. If this ain't you person watching, it could be people towards you. But if people had to know what you had to endure, they wouldn't even want to walk a mile in your shoes. They might can see how well you are, how well off you are, and oh, they look at person watching and go, oh well, what about me? You know what I'm saying? I deserve that. I need to be here, need to be there. But it's like whole time person watching, they don't know what you went through. They don't know the sacrifices you've had to make. They don't know how many long nights, early mornings you've had. They just see where you at now. And then now it motivate them to feel like, oh, well, I'm gonna go get this because person watching got it. It's like, oh, don't try to compare yourself to me, babe. You don't know what I've had to deal with to get this. You don't know what type of strife this came with. Okay, so be very clear about what your motives are, making sure that you're moving with people out of pure, genuine intention. Make sure that people are moving with you out of pure, genuine intention. Especially because the power of purpose card is down at the bottom of the deck. So this is a time to be very purposeful. Okay, moving with intention, making sure that you're paying much attention to how you're moving because you might be moving in some ways that don't really honor you, or you might be around some people that might be moving in some ways that don't honor you. Now let's get into this Into Me I See card because this is one that I'm not really familiar with. The key concepts here: intimacy, trust in another, dropping shields and rigid boundaries to allow connection, the willingness to be vulnerable. If you know me, you know I'm gonna jump around. I'm not really reading this whole page. It says at certain precious moments, you're called into a deep and meaningful connection with the world or with another person. A magical affinity arises with the kind of intimacy that in turn encourages a greater understanding of yourself. The relationship acts as a mirror, helping you see your own patterns. What is reflected about you can further your own personal evolution. This concept applies beyond romantic connection. What do the dynamics in your closest relationships, friendships, work relationships, and family say about you? Relationships are extraordinary opportunities for healing. When predicted on honesty and caring, they have a great impact on how you contribute to the world. Intimate relationships hold up a mirror of truth and reveal more treasures than you might ever expect. If you can look into it, take a risk, and see everything as beautiful, even in its imperfections. Imagine how deep you can go. So, regardless at this time, person watching, I feel like you're being asked to really think about your interpersonal connections all across the boards. Not only what it's revealing about you, but what it's also revealing about the people around you. This does feel more you related, though, person watching. It does feel like making sure that your motives are in check. What are your personal relationships teaching you right now? Not even just your romantic relationships, but your best friendships, your interpersonal closest friendships, your work relationships, the connections with your family. What is it all showing and revealing to you about you at this time? Are you moving with ill intent with all of these people? This is the time to really think about it. Sometimes you might feel like I'm moving with the right intent, whole time you're not, right? I know that this can come out. I'm more familiar in seeing it with people in romantic relationships, but I would imagine that it can come out with everything, right? That's just like when you text your boo and then you have like a attitude or something, right? And it's not because you really have an attitude. It's just because you want your way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can do that. Sometimes it takes a really self-aware person to kind of catch it though, right? But Sometimes we can do that where it's like, I'm not really mad at my boo for real. I'm just trying to milk it so I can get what I want. I'm just trying to milk this attitude. I'm trying to milk it. And now I'm giving it silent treatment because it's like, oh, I'm trying to see if you're going to really just kind of give me what I want. It's a motive, right? You're not doing this because you just want to do this. You're not doing this because you genuinely care. You're not doing this because you genuinely, this is who you are. But there's a motive. You want something in return, right? That's just like when you call your friend and they be like, "Oh, hey girl, how you been? You know, how's life? You're so beautiful and amazing and awesome, and you just shit roses and piss fucking glitter and unicorns." It's like you don't really feel this way about me. You got a motive. What do you want? Right? When you shoot it straight to people like that, don't they kind of just act like, "Oh, me motive? I was just really calling to see how you were doing and to see if I could borrow $20." It's like because you didn't really have a good motive with that. If you really wanted to know how I've been doing and you just felt so great about me, you'd have been called. You're not gonna call me and tell me all of this just because you want $20. You call on a regular day when you don't want shit. Right? So this is the time to really pay attention to your interpersonal connections. This feels like it's more you based, but for some of you, of course, this isn't going to apply for everybody. So maybe it is the people around you. Look at your work relationships. Look at your closest friendships. Look at your intimate connections. Look at your connections with family. Are people moving genuine with you? Are you moving genuine with these people? Okay. I kind of want to read at the bottom of the deck because the Power of Purpose card is a new card for me also. So let's just kind of jump down to the very end of it. There's no need to be self-conscious or act a certain way to please others, which can sometimes take you in a direction that you don't want to go anyway. The discipline and will to evolve are yours by nature. This process doesn't have to be a struggle. You cannot fail if you immerse yourself fully in what is in front of you right now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You never have to seek your purpose or wonder what it is. Let's read that again. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You never have to seek your purpose or wonder what it is. Just keep removing blocks to your essential self, and your purpose will find you. It's that easy. What a wonderful thing to know. I like this though, because even this little let's kind of go up a little bit. It says right now you're invited to step into a new empowered sense of authentic purpose, bolstered by a healthy dose of self-esteem. You're called to release your old conditioning. There is no need to be self-conscious or act in a certain way to please others. So yeah, I feel like that further even confirms it. This more so right now, collectively, what you need to know is you need to be making sure again you checking your motives. Person watching. For some of you, this will apply the opposite way, but for majority of you, person watching, this is the time for you to make sure you're actually checking your purpose. Now, just like the purpose card said, now is not the time to act in a subconscious way, in a low self-esteem way. Now is not the time to be trying to act in a certain type of way to people please. What are your motives? What are your intentions with the people around you? Are you people pleasing? Are you kissing ass? Are you playing nice to try to make friends? Are you playing nice to try to keep people around? Do you know that you don't like certain people, but then you keep them around because you feel like there's something you're going to get out of it? Right? Are you keeping this energy with your family? Right now is giving this a good time to really kind of, and I guess that makes sense because we are in Scorpio season. Scorpio season for me is typically the season of it's time to cut the grass, right? For me as a spiritualist. Spiritual energy, Scorpio energy is about death and rebirth energy. We do have Halloween during this season, which is like the night of the dead, the day of the dead, right? This is the time to really whack off who need to get whacked off. And I don't mean literally. I'm not condoning unaliving anybody. But again, if you know that there's some connections that need to be cut, snip, snip, hope. It's as simple as that. If you know that you ain't cut your grass, you might have some snakes. It's time to get them mowing because the snakes might be rearing their head this time. Okay, making sure that you are in good standing with other people, making sure that other people are in good standing with you. That's going to be very, very important. Okay, now is the time to really look at yourself. What are the connections around you teaching you? Is it that you're people pleasing? Are the connections around you teaching you that you've been people pleasing? When you analyze the connections around you, is the common theme denominator that maybe you keep people around to benefit you? Are you really friends with people that you say that you're friends with, or are you acting like they friend the whole time? You know that there's something that you might want out of it. Okay, 1:11 right now on my time dash. It is 1:11 p.m. So making sure that you stay present in the moment also. For some of you, where this might not be you, well, I guess it applies for both sides, but intuitively, for those of you where this might not be you, stay present in the moment. For some of you, you have some people around you that treat you like this, but you be so lost in the sauce, lost in la la land, you don't pick up on no cues. Okay, these same people, like I said, oh yeah, you know how you doing, person watching, and it's just like, oh, I'm fine. What is it? You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard from you in a month of Sundays. Why you calling me now? Oh, I just, wanted to see how you were doing and, just let you know how great and fantastic and amazing you were. And, to see if I could borrow $20. It's like, I ain't spoke to you since Auntie Jean passed in August. I mean, since it's goddamn October, fucking February, March or some shit, April or something like that. You just not calling me, but then you calling me to ask for $20? For some of you, you have some people around you who do this a lot. But see, you not looking at it for what it is. You a little too lost in the sauce. Okay, that's for some of you. What is this teaching you about yourself? What is this teaching you about the people around you? For some of you, you got some people around you that have a motive, but then you just like, oh no, but that's been my best friend since we've been best friends. Okay, your best friend still got a motive. She's still using you. What the fuck that mean? Oh, they would never. That's my sister. They would never do that. Your sister still has a motive. They only call you when they need you to watch their children. They only called you when they need some money. They only call you when something going wrong in their life. They only call you want to come kick it with you when they fucked up. You know them people? You be having friends for goddamn years. You only hear from these sons of bitches when they want something, when something going wrong in their life. Oh, I just broke up with my man. What you doing? I'm finna come over. Don't come over now. Don't come over now. You ain't been coming over. What you want to come over now for? Because you sad? Because you depressed, down in the dumps, and feeling like, oh, I ain't got nobody to talk to. Whoever you was talking to when you felt like you had somebody to talk to, go talk to them. Because it damn sure wasn't me, right? You got them friends that only hit you up when they want something, hit you up when they need something and shit. You know what I'm saying? Any other time you don't hear from them, you had a great day, you done had a prosperous 2024, you done made all type of money, great strides in your business. You ain't heard from these folks not one time. No congratulations or shit. And as soon as they need something, they on your motherfucking line. Oh, hey, yeah, hi. Remember me? No, I don't. I don't. Matter of fact, who is this? I play dumb so fast. I don't even know who this is. Who know this is? Sorry, I had to retrieve it from the recently deleted. Now motherfuckers acting like they heard and shit. Oh, recently deleted. Damn, you don't fuck with me no more. Who is this? You ain't text my phone all year. How you find my number now to ask for $20? I ain't got it. Right. So again, making sure you're not acting in a way that hurts you, making sure that you're not people pleasing, making sure that you're not kissing ass, making sure that everything that you're doing is directly in alignment with your goddamn purpose. What does book say? There is no need to be self-conscious or act in a certain way to please others, which can sometimes take you in a direction that you don't fucking want to go in anyway. That you don't want to go in anyway. Give me one card. Yeah, you have the complexibility card here, and you have the Virgo card here, the alchemist, right? So with this Virgo card, I do feel like for some of you, this is definitely a time to really start analyzing. Like I said, for some of you, you're not really paying that much attention. Virgo energy is very analytical. They pay attention a lot to what's going on around them. They paying attention to everything that you think that they're not paying attention to. If you think that they're not paying attention, newsflash, they are. If you think they're not collecting data on your motherfucking ass, newsflash, they are. Okay? But the hard part could be is that it's complicated. Right? For some of you, you might analyze this, you might be peeping, you might be paying attention to the fact that people don't really fuck with you, or people only want to come around when it's time to come around, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? People don't really fool with you when it's beneficial, when you really need somebody to come fuck with you, but then you don't need nobody and then not a whole world fucking with you type thing, right? Pay attention to that. Be very critical about that. Be very hard on that. Okay. Especially because this complexity card, it says irritates, puzzles, mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes, misses the mark, requires translation, adjustment, makes curious, education, and transforms. So this is a time to really kind of pay attention to that. If you're, especially if you feel kind of puzzled on some people, sometimes when you get to fucking with people and then you get to feeling like, I don't know, it just be a vibe. You know what I'm saying about these people? I be on that real quick. As soon as I start to feeling the vibe and I get to smelling some weird energy around you, my spidey senses get to tingling, right? My red flag sensor get to going off. And now it's like, okay, now I'm really got my eyes on you. Now I'm really paying attention. Now I'm really analyzing what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're not saying. I pay attention to what you pay attention to and what you're not paying attention to. Oh, you like this post? Okay, you like this post, but you ain't like that one. Interesting. Right? Interesting. So make sure you really pay attention to that, right? Once you really kind of zone in and analyze, you'll come to figure out that you're very accurate in these predictions that you have, right? Mercury down at the bottom of the deck, which is about communication, but it's also about your thought process, right? How you're thinking about things, how you're processing things. That goes back to some of you who, like I just said a few moments ago, yeah, you might peep little shit, but then it don't really stick to you the way it need to stick to you, right? You might pay attention and be like, oh, well, I mean, I love my friends. They just only call me when they newly single and broke up with their boyfriend. But then when they get a new boyfriend, I don't hear from them no more. It's like, yeah, you could pay attention to that, but are you really paying attention to that? Right? Are you really allowing that to transform you and make something shake, make something adjust? Right? Y'all know I like to make these very personal. So even for myself, I've even had to kind of work on my own self where it's just like, okay, what's my own motive? For me, this reading would pay attention to me, would definitely be more for me on a sense of not necessarily the people around me because I don't really have nobody around me. I feel like for real, I'm not really close to nobody. So for me, it's less about other people's motives and more about my own motives. And I just even as the past week and a half, I've been kind of working through like my own people pleasing tendencies. Where it's like, don't like the card said, this is not the time to be acting in a way of subconsciousness, and this is not the time to be trying to act a certain way to appease people, right? What is your own motive? Pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Think about your work relationships, your interpersonal relationships, your love relationships. And I can identify within myself, I definitely have an issue with not really moving in a way that's authentic to me because I'm more thinking about how everybody else feels. Right. My motive don't never be because this is what I want to do. It be on some, well, I want to do this, but I don't know how other people gonna feel. Or I want to wear this, but I don't know how other people gonna feel. Or I feel like I want to say that, but I don't want to upset nobody. So I'm just not, right? And that kind of has helped me kind of push the wheel forward into psychoanalyzing my own self. A big lesson that I just learned within my own self, roll with me. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm going somewhere with this. A big lesson that I just even kind of had to sit with within my own self, regardless of how much you try to move or act in a manner, in a way to appease people or to make people like you or to, you know, kiss up to other people or to act a certain way to appease other people. At the end of the day, they still not gonna like you. It don't matter what you do or how you do it or how hard you try to go and how kind you try to be. If people not gonna fuck with you, they're not gonna fuck with you. And that just is what it is. So again, why be self-conscious about it? Why allow that to make you be more conscious of, oh, well, let me appease these people. Let me kiss up to my family because I know that, it'll make my family happier. Let me, act like this in front of my coworkers. Let me act like this in front of my boyfriend or to in front of my crush because hopefully that'll make him like me. Like, no, just be yourself and really think about that when you come to yourself. Really sit and analyze yourself. Analyze what it is that you're doing, right? Put these puzzle pieces together to really try to help kind of transform some things within your own self, to make some proper adjustments. You know, at the end of the day, our life is our life. So maybe you need that message like I needed it. But at the end of the day, if these people are not feeding you, if they're not fucking you, and if they're not financing you, fuck them. It's just as simple as that. People gonna feel how they want to. How do you feel about you? Do you like you? Are you happy with you? That's what really matters the most. You need to read Oracle cards. Yeah, the Guardian and the Gate. So yeah, so for some of you, it's kind of giving, you know, for some of you, it's kind of giving you still working through that. So for some of you, that could exactly be how the same lesson I kind of had to learn might be a lesson that y'all learning. Right, the guardian and the gate, women holding a heart, and then you have the action card. So it's given for some of you, you're big hearted like me. You real big hearted and real caring and considerate like me, which is why you might have fucked up motives. I won't say fucked up in a negative sense, but I'll say fucked up motives because you might be focusing more on how it make other people feel than how it might make you feel, right? And I say it's a fucked up motive because again, it ain't about them, it's about us. So as long as we feel good about it, and as long as we are happy about it, and we can sleep good at night knowing that this is what we wanted to do and this is our motive, our intention, and it's true to us, then nothing else matters. How your family feel about it don't matter. Even though it might matter to you, but in the grand scheme of things, it don't matter. How your boyfriend feel don't matter. How your best friend feel don't matter. How your worker co-workers feel don't matter. None of that shit matters. It's time to really start following your heart, is what this is giving, right? For some of you, you blocking your own self, you dumbing yourself down, you standing in your own way, you keeping some blockages in front of you because you trying to goddamn water yourself down. When at the end of the day, door to spirit is down at the bottom of the deck. You have a lot of things that's coming in for you, but you could be blocking and standing in your own way because you still worried about what other people might feel or how other people might see it. Which at the end of the day, it don't matter how they feel. It's not their life. So let's see. Give us some tarot card. And yeah, let's see what the tarot has in store. Give me some tarot cards for our collectors right now. We have the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles. So I do like that. I like to see these eights. Give me a couple of cards. King of Wands is reversed. Knight of Pentacles is also reversed. The Sun card, and then the Four of Wands is reversed. So I do feel like person watching, you have a lot of things that are coming in for you, and your hard work is paying off, especially with these 88s. This 88 here is giving me prosperity. So again, a lot of your hard work is definitely paying off. A lot of the prosperity and a lot of the energy that you're putting out into the world is paying off. I guess that's still much more why it's kind of tying into, again, making sure that your motives are yours. You don't want to be putting in all of this work to try to appease other people because you think that that's what other people want you to do, or because you feel like that's what's going to get you accepted, and the whole time you start receiving the fruits of your labor, but it's still not really what you want because you haven't been doing the work on what it is that you want. You have a lot of good news coming in. You have a lot of goodness coming in for you during this time, and your hard work is going to be paying off. For some of you, you're finally getting into the mode of putting in hard work, but it's also kind of giving, again, making sure that the work that you're putting in is because it's genuinely what you want to do. Not because it's what your family want, not because it's what your daddy want, your mama, your boyfriend, because you bitter about an ex and now you trying to goddamn do all of this because you trying to put it in your ex face and flex on your ex to make your ex mad. Like, is this genuinely what you want to do wholeheartedly? Give a fuck about how anybody else feel about it. Yes, then keep going. Right? Your hard work will be paying off soon. I do feel like for some of you though, you need to get moving. This King of Wands is reversed and this Knight of Pentacles is reversed. If you haven't got moving, get started. Okay, it's time to start taking some action. It's time to start taking some action. It's time to really start putting your heart out there, putting your heart on your sleeve, and really making these new beginnings really happen because the Sun card is here. So again, you have a lot of things coming in, a lot of new opportunities coming in. You have a lot of good shit coming for you. You want to make sure that you're not standing in your own way with this Guardian and this Gate card, okay? You need to be making sure that you're not standing in your own way. You're not standing in your own, you're not blocking your own self, okay? Are you not moving because you feel like it's self-conscious? Because you worry about if you're gonna make it or how things are gonna go? Are you, again, not doing things because you got fucked up motives? Are you putting in work, but then the people around you got fucked up motives, and then now you're attracting a bunch of people to you who see you working hard, see you doing great things, see you making great strides, but then now they just want to latch on to you person watching because they want to goddamn go where you going and ride your coattail? Right? Make sure the foundation is built for you. Make sure that whatever it is that you're building is also harmonious. Okay, whatever you build, it needs to be in harmony with what it is you want, harmony with your heart's desire, harmony with whatever it is that you see for yourself that you're working towards right now. And you need to make sure you're building the foundation on it. You're not gonna have no new beginning if there is no foundation built. Anything built on a rocky foundation is bound to drizzle. So making sure that the foundation that you put in is authentic to you. The foundation that you're building for whatever stability this is completely for you. Making sure that you're getting up and you putting in that work every day. I don't give a damn how your family feel. I don't give a damn if you like, well, shit, they want me to be a doctor, but I'm gonna drop out and I'm gonna goddamn start doing pottery classes. Do it. At the end of the day, this is your life. It don't matter how nobody else feel. Yeah, they might have some type of something. Yeah, they might feel like, oh, person watching, you sure you want to do that? Oh, you sure that's a good idea? Oh, we don't really know how we feel about it. That's cool. It don't matter how you feel about it. I know how I feel about it. And that's what matters to me. Because at the end of the day, it's my life. Y'all live y'all's. Or either you still living yours. Figure out what you're gonna do for your life. But don't come over here trying to tell me how to dictate mine. Period. Once you can kind of get through that mental process and once you can kind of work through that part of it, then I do see things getting a lot easier. I see you have kind of what feels like two wheels because this kind of looks like a wheel card, sort of. Oh, well, this actually is a bullseye. That's funny. Okay, come on, synchronicities. This is a bullseye and it has numbers on it. So this has like a bullseye with a dart. If you can see it a little closer, power of purpose. But then even in this card, the complexity, it says misses the mark. So yeah, again, a lot of you don't want to miss your mark. And that's kind of what I was picking up with these two with this 88. Prosperity is here, wealth is here, is what 88 gives me, abundance, right? But then you don't want to miss no mark. You don't want to be putting in a whole lot of work somewhere else and then miss your mark because that ain't really what you want to do. Just like I said, yeah, you might be going really hard at medical school, but if that's not really what you want to do, when you really want to goddamn paint, you might end up missing your mark because you put in so much work at medical school to be a doctor, and that's not really what you want to do. That's what your parents want you to do. That's what your sister wants you to do. That's what your granny wants you to do. That's what your boyfriend and your husband want you to do. But that's not really what you want to do. You don't want to miss your mark. You got to really lock in with what it is you want, how you feel, who you want to be, and have pride in that, have love in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, with your heart and your soul, this is me. This is who I am. Period. Thank you again so much though for tuning into my channel. Yeah, we have some great things coming. Y'all have some great things coming. So just make sure again that your motives are clear and that you're doing what it is that you want to do for you. So that way all of this goodness and this great shit that's coming in for y'all can't find y'all. Because again, there's a lot of good things coming in. You just want to make sure that all of the blessings and opportunities and stuff that's coming in is authentically for you because that's genuinely what you're putting out in the world. Not because you've been over here trying to act like whoever somebody else wants you to be. And then now you reaping the benefits of all the hard work, but then you still not happy because you're like, damn, this ain't what I really want to do. For others of you, there's a small fraction of you, small fraction. Okay. You need to make sure you're checking your motives and make sure you're checking the motives of people around you. For some of you, this is less about people pleasing and doing what other folk want you to do or trying to act in a certain manner to appease other people. For some of you, this is simply just negative energy. You either dealing with people because you feel like you're going to use them to get the way you're trying to go. You either dealing with people because you feel like it'll benefit you, because you feel like, oh, I only want to deal with these people if I'm getting something out of the deal. That's not genuine. That's not authentic. You moving out of pure benefit. You moving out of motive. Where that applies, making sure that you work on that, making sure that you think about whether it be you need to check your motives or check the motives of people around you. Really apply that to all of the relationships in your life. Who makes you feel genuine? Who feels genuine? Who shows up for you when you don't have nothing? Who shows up for you whether they get anything out of the deal at all? That's what matters. That's who's important. Because you're gonna have a lot of people you're gonna realize as we go into finish our Scorpio season, you're gonna have a lot of people that you realize, oh, these people really only fuck with me if it's beneficial. They really only want to deal with me when they feel like they're getting something out of it. They only want to deal with me because they want to use me because of what I have, use me because of my platform, use me because of my ideas. It ain't because they genuinely fuck with me. Pay attention to the people that fuck with you even when they getting nothing out of it. I don't even gotta use you. Fuck riding your coattail. I don't want nothing from you but good vibes, but support, but love. I show up with you even when I don't get nothing in return. I still show up for you. Those are the people you need to be paying attention to. Those are the people that you need to have around you. Okay. If you made it this far to my channel, thank you so much. My name is B. Just in case if you forget from the beginning of the video, check down below in the description box for everything you need about me, how to find me, where to find me, and how to book. Again, I will keep y'all updated on teaching classes. I'm still just kind of getting caught up myself. Praying as a collective that these next 4 years are okay after this election. I'm still processing. I don't really know how to feel about it yet as of yet, but I'm gonna just give it to God and I'm gonna pray because at the end of the day, that's really all we can do moving forward. Getting upset, getting angry, arguing, and getting your blood pressure up is not going to help nothing or nobody. Okay? Like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments down below if this resonated. Thank you again so much for tuning into my channel. And until then, hopefully we won't get blown the fuck up in the meantime. Until next time.